$311,000. That's exactly how much this renovation contractor added to his business in the first 6 months of working with us. I'm going to show you the exact strategy that we use with him so you can use it for your business and generate leads like crazy. This is Joe. He runs Howman Renovations. It's a local renovation contractor and they specialize in kitchen renovations. We started working together in July of 2024 to help him get more leads to his website through SEO. He was also running some Google ads, so we assisted with that as well. In the first 6 months of working together, they generated an extra $311,000 from leads that came through their website. This video is intended to show you the strategy that we use with them, some of the tasks associated with the SEO, the Google ads, so that you could just plug it into your business and generate crazy results in terms of leads that come through your website. And this is literally all I do around the clock. I run an SEO agency specifically for home service businesses to get them more leads through organic Google search, where your target demographic is going to look for your services. So if you want to learn more about that and book a call with me, click the link in the description. But either way, I don't want to waste time, so let's get into the strategy. All right, so jumping right into the strategy, this is something that we call the website funnel optimization strategy for home service businesses. And the name, I literally just made it up. It means exactly what it says. It is not fancy, but it always starts with keyword research. And keyword research starts with knowing your demographic, knowing your audience, and targeting specific services, right? If you're a renovation contractor, like in the case of Howman Renovations, they specialize in kitchen renovations. And so that's what we want to focus on. If you have a small marketing budget or a small ad budget for whatever you're going to be spending on, you don't want to be generalizing your services. Like for example, with us as a marketing agency, we could be targeting, SEO, Google ads, meta ads, website design. Like there's so many different services that we could focus on in our marketing, but I just want to focus all in on SEO, one service for one demographic. And if you're starting out at least in marketing, and let's say you have like an under $10,000 per month marketing budget, you want to focus in on one thing and one thing only. And then once you have that service and you know your demographic that you're marketing to, in this case, homeowners in the North Vancouver area, we want to start doing keyword research. And you can use a tool called SEMrush to do this. You can use Google Trends. You could just research on Google. You can even use ChatGPT, but we use SEMrush for this strategy because SEMrush will tell us what keywords have the highest volumes, trends, how difficult it's going to be to rank for those keywords. And then we can take the website, in this case, Howman Renovations, and say, okay, this is the authority score of the website. These are the keywords that our target demographic is searching up. For example, kitchen renovations near me, kitchen renovations North Vancouver, kitchen remodelers in my area. The intent behind that search is to find a renovation contractor to hire. So those are high value keywords, but we just need to find the right ones that are going to be easiest for us to target, the low hanging fruit, because in a lot of cases, there's so many different variations of the same keyword, right? It's different ways to say the same thing essentially, because thousands upon thousands of people are going to be searching these things up every single month, but they're going to do it each in slightly different ways. Someone could type into Google kitchen renovations near me. Another person could write in Google kitchen remodelers in my area. They're both the exact same thing, but they're different keywords technically on paper. And so we want to find those variations and the ones that are going to be the easiest for us to target. And then we want to create landing pages. And I'm going to get into this in a little bit, but the website funnel optimization centers around researching keywords and how much volume those keyword searches are getting every single month, creating landing pages, and then driving traffic to those landing pages from our ideal audience. And so it kind of works like a funnel, right? We want to do the keyword research, find the data in terms of, okay, how many people are searching these things up every single month, and how can we capture as many of them as possible to drive them to the landing pages where the content is specific to the services, and then get traffic right to those landing pages. So the first thing that we're doing is search engine optimization. And we're doing these in tandem, but like in this breakdown, I'm going to go over this first. Search engine optimization, right? SEO. What we want to do is two kind of separate streams of SEO. You want to think of it in terms of one, getting more leads with conversion-driven content, and then two, driving traffic and rankings with authority-driven content. And I'll tell you what that means. The conversion-driven content is landing pages. right? So the landing pages, kitchen renovation services, bathroom renovation services, it could be HVAC services, whatever your trade is, the landing pages for those services, the goal of those pages is to convert someone into a lead, because when someone lands on that page, they ideally are looking for those services. And so we want to build out landing pages for each individual services, again, coming back to the keyword research, that are centered around those keywords and different variations of landing pages. So like I mentioned, there could be different variations of the same keyword, and creating a landing page for kitchen renovation services near me and kitchen remodelers in my area, creating two different landing pages, each targeting the same, or not the same, but each targeting their individual keyword, is going to help us get in front of those people, and it's going to drive conversions up. We also want to do the on-page optimizations for these landing pages for SEO and conversions. And so just by targeting one specific keyword, like I mentioned, a variation of a specific keyword, you can drive conversions because that person is seeing the exact thing that they typed into Google search, right? And it's the same with SEO. You want to fill out your alt tags, meta descriptions of that specific page, and make the page title, like the meta title of your page, the keyword that that person is searching up. Because again, if someone types in a keyword like kitchen remodelers in my area, and they see a page link that says kitchen remodelers in your area, and let's just say it's North Vancouver in this case, then they're going to be more likely to click it because that's the exact same thing they came to Google to see. They come to the landing page, and then again, all of the content is centered around kitchen remodelers in my area. That's just an example, but again, use it and apply it to your specific trade. And the SEO optimizations are no different. We want to put that keyword in, like I said, the meta description, meta title of that page, and the URL, make the URL the keyword. In the text of the website, the headings, the image alt tags, you want to put the keyword in there as well. The second stream of SEO is driving traffic and rankings with authority-driven content. And so the lead conversion driven content, that we do want to drive content to that page and rank those pages high. That is absolutely the goal. But really, the backbone of that content and those rankings are the authority-driven content. And what I mean by that is creating blogs on your website, AI overviews, and trying to rank for AI and ChatGPT now that it's 2025, and these are things that you need to be doing, and getting backlinks and guest posts on other websites. So I'll break this down quickly. Blogs, what they'll do is they will help you rank for more specific niche content and keywords where the person looking up those topics are not necessarily looking to hire someone, but maybe do it themselves or ask questions about these services before they hire someone, right? And so there's typically less competition for those keywords because there's so many of them, right? And you creating blog posts for those keywords where, again, they're more questions rather than looking to hire someone. This goes back to the keywords again, finding keywords, and we use SEMrush to do this. It's going to help us drive traffic to the website, and Google will see, hey, a lot of this website's blogs and content is ranking high, and people are clicking on it, reading it, and engaging with that content. And because of that, we're going to bump up this website's authority score. And the authority score is simply going to help you rank higher on these pages, the conversion-driven content. And so we produce blog content and get backlinks so that our landing pages, the conversion-driven content, can get more traffic to it from the right people, if that makes sense. And so we also want to make sure that our blogs, even our landing pages, are optimized for AI overviews. You'll see in Google now when you do a Google search, it'll give you like an AI overview at the top of the page. And in ChatGPT, it pulls data from the web and from websites and from search engines. And so ranking your blogs higher on Google, again, finding like low competition keyword searches for blog topics will help you as a byproduct rank in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will show your content to people in localized searches and localized prompts. Backlinks and guest posts. So this is a really big authority driver when it comes to SEO. Getting backlinks on another website, if you don't know, is simply another website that has a link in the website back to yours. And that's typically on blog posts. And so what you can do is write or get another website to write a blog post and have your information in that blog post ranking back to yours, and then on your website you rank back to them. And Google loves to see interlinking between websites, and ideally the backlinks that you get should be on other websites with a high authority score. And you can check the authority score using a tool like SEMrush. You could just do a free trial and then it'll tell you your authority score out of 100 or the authority score of a website. And so again, what this does, Google loves to see it. It's almost like a shout out on social media. If a big page with like 50,000 followers shouted you out in their story on Instagram or something, then your page would probably get a lot of traction because of that. And so again, Google loves to see this. And so this, just to summarize the SEO portion of this, again, there's two streams. We're creating landing pages and content on the website that the action we want someone to take on that page is to convert into a lead. This is where the lead generation happens. But to get that kind of traffic, we also have to have authority on our website. So Google sees that, hey, this is a website that is a good source of information. It is an authority in the specific niche or service and location that they're offering those services in. And so this content here, all of this drives the rankings up on your services landing pages. Okay, so moving on to the paid ads, which is what we help them with. You want to make sure that there's cohesion between your SEO strategy and your Google Ads strategy, because at the end of the day, if someone searches up, we'll use this case again, kitchen remodelers in my area, and they see you on the sponsored ad, the Google ad. They scroll down, they see your business profile with 5-star reviews, they scroll even further and they see your website link. That immediately builds trust and positions you as an expert, right, within your area, within your trade. And so that alone will drive even more conversions when they just see you on the first page of Google everywhere they look. And so that's why we want to have cohesion in between your SEO and your Google ad strategy. And we'll talk about that a little bit. But when it comes to Google ads, a lot of people do them wrong. They just turn them on, they do some keywords, they put in generic content, they put in images, and then they just let them run and they probably get no results. And a reason for that is because Google doesn't know what a conversion is. And so what we want to do is there's different targeting strategies within Google ads. We want to start our campaign off with a manual cost per click campaign. We want to budget the amount of money we want to spend per click. And it's going to range depending on your services, your area, right? For something like kitchen remodels or even renovations in general, the cost that you're going to be paying for high value clicks is going to be high because the type of customers searching up those services have a high budget. This is very high ticket items. And so something like a small product, like a t-shirt, right, an e-commerce website might be paying a little bit lower because the products themselves are they're cheaper than a renovation, obviously, right? But it also depends on the competition and a lot of different factors. I won't get into it, but either way, you want to start with a manual cost per click campaign. And this is one of the most important parts. You want to set up conversion tracking with a form submission on your website. So what we did with Heilman is we made sure in their Google ad campaign that we set up form submission tracking. The conversion that we are getting people to take from the Google ads is submitting a form on the website. And so what we want to do is tell Google ads, or Google in general, this is what a conversion looks like on the website. This is where it comes from. And this is what it means when the conversion has been completed, right? They click submit on the form. And then what we did was we set it up so that it redirects them to a thank you page. And then we told Google Ads when someone comes to this thank you page, which they can only come to when they submit a form, then that counts as a conversion. And so again, the goal here is to switch to a manual cost per click. So we're budgeting we're bidding, on keywords, and we're going to get less clicks in this time period in the first month to 2 months, but they're going to be higher value clicks, and we're going to teach Google. It's going to learn what a conversion looks like, and then what we can do is switch it to a performance max campaign. So we'll get more clicks, we'll be paying less, and getting the conversions that we want to see on the website. Getting into kind of the high level strategy here, We want to target primary keywords that we aren't already ranking high on, as well as keywords that we are ranking high on that have high value intent. So the example that I showed you before in, when someone searches up a term and then sees your sponsored ad, your Google business profile, and then your website link, automatically they're like, okay, these guys must be important. They must know what they're doing to some capacity, or, they're going to be intrigued to check you out. And that's exactly what we did here. We want to see at the very start of our SEO campaign, okay, what keywords are we not ranking high on? Because we want to target those with Google Ads to start. We want to get on as many searches as we possibly can for our niche. And then for the really good high value intent keywords like kitchen remodelers in my area, kitchen renovations near me, kitchen renovation contractors, right? Those are great keywords, high value, high intent. We also want to set up Google Ads to target those keywords as well. A big tip here, you want to include negative keywords such as your business name and any searches that you wouldn't want to show up for. And this is an ongoing process. So at the start of the campaign, we almost always turn off. In this case, it was Heilman Renovations, Heilman, those kind of keywords that are like in the business name, because if someone searches up our business name, they already know about us. They want to check out our website. And if they click on the sponsored ad, we're just going to be paying for clicks that we don't need and we otherwise would have gotten to our business profile or to a website link. So make sure you turn those off. And then as the campaign's going, what we did was any keywords that we didn't want to show up on, Google is going to show your website when you're paying for search ads. It's going to show your website on searches that are not ideal for you. And that's just a byproduct of running Google Ads. For example, we were targeting, again, kitchen renovations. There was like interior designer near me that we showed up on. And so that's not a client that we want to get. That's not a search that we need to pay for or a click that we need to pay for. And so we added those keywords as a negative keyword. And depending on your budget, you want to go into Google Ads every day pretty much and go through the negative keywords or go through the keywords that you're showing up on and take out any of the negative ones. And once you've got this is kind of going back to what I said before, but like once you've got a few good conversions, like I would say 4 to 10 conversions, then you could switch it to a Performance Max on your ad. So like set up the conversion tracking, then you set this up. And then once you've got a couple of conversions, which should come in the first month to 2 months, then set it to a Performance Max on your ads. And so really, let's say that your budget for ads is like $1,000 per month, or let's say it's like $3,000 per month, right? In the first 1 to 2 months, you want to be spending the most that you're willing to spend. So spend $5,000 in the first month or 2 months, and then drop it after that. People think, I'm going to spend a little bit to start off and then I'll increase it. You kind of want to do it the opposite way if that's your goal. You want to spend as much as possible at the start and then lower it once you've got a few good conversions, because once Google knows that, it knows what a good conversion is, it knows what kind of search it's showing up on, it knows the demographic of your ideal customer, then it'll show it to more people like that, and your budget won't need to be as high. And then once you've got that going, you just let the money flow, and that's it. And so let me just recap the entire thing here quickly. So again, the website funnel optimization, getting more leads from your website, from organic and even paid ads like we did here, starts with the keyword research. It starts with focusing in and honing in on one specific service. And then from that, you want to get traffic to conversion-driven landing pages where the goal of those landing pages is to get someone to convert into a lead. And so the two ways to get traffic, at least for us on Google, we use search engine optimization and paid ads and made sure that in between these strategies, there was cohesion. With the SEO, we made landing pages, a bunch of different landing pages at that target different keywords, different variations of the same keywords. And then with authority-driven content, we drove traffic to these landing pages and got these rankings up. And then with the paid ads, we simply took what they already had, took the data from past campaigns, made a new one, started a manual cost per click, set up the conversion tracking, which they weren't doing before, and then we targeted keywords that we wanted to get on the first page for, that our SEO on the website wasn't there yet, and then high value intent keywords that we also wanted to show up like multiple times on Google for, and then included any of those negative keywords, made sure that on a consistent basis, week in, week out, we were taking out any keywords and optimizing our Google ads. And then once we got those conversions, we switched it to Performance Max. And once you do that, like the the optimizations don't end. You still want to go in every single day, week in, week out, and make sure that it's being shown to the right people, right? And then that's the strategy that got Hyman Renovations an extra $300,000 in the first 6 months of working with us. So that's gonna do it for this video. And as always, if you got value out of this and you wanna see more on a consistent basis, subscribe. And if you run a renovation or contracting business, comment below. What are you struggling with the most when it comes to generating leads? And hopefully I can help you out. So thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.